In the studio, we have Mary Swanson, of course, realtor with Howes and Jeffries. We're going to be talking about the RiverStone Crossing with Bill Wilford of Wilford Construction. Bill, welcome to the program. Let's find out a little bit about you. First of all, you've been doing this for a while, and you got your start at North Scott High School.
That's true.
Talk about that.
That's true. I went to high school at North Scott. I was actually part of the first student-built home project at North Scott. And I had an older brother that was also in construction at the time, and I just fell in love with it at that point, and I've been doing it ever since.
So it really has developed for you, and you said you've been in control since about 1983.
That's correct.
How did that come about?
Well, I started out, when I graduated, I went to work for a local commercial company, and I went through the apprenticeship program to be a commercial contractor. Or not contractor, but employee. And in the early 80s, things got pretty tight commercial side, so we were all pretty much laid off. And at that time, people started calling me to do odds and end jobs here and there. And by the time the commercial side picked back up, I was so busy with people calling me that I decided not to go back. So it's kind of been that way ever since.
Talk about some of the projects that you have done in the past.
Well, other than individual, we've done light commercial work. We built Cornerstone Baptist Church in Eldridge. We fully remodeled the church in DeWitt that they have also. A lot of residential, quite a bit of remodeling as well. And did a condominium subdivision in Eldridge along with a housing subdivision in Eldridge prior to coming up here.
That is a rapidly growing area. That North Scott High School, North Scott's a lot bigger now than when you graduated in 1978. So let's talk about RiverStone Crossing. How did this come about?
I was approached by a couple of local businessmen that had purchased the ground from Springdale Cemetery and wanted to know if I would be interested in developing the property. And I have to admit, at first I was a little bit leery of where I was at, mostly because around the cemetery, and the access to the property was through the cemetery at the time. And the more I looked around and the more I drove in the neighborhoods around there, I just discovered that it was, you could tell everybody cared about their neighborhood. The people all seemed friendly, the city seemed friendly. It just seemed like a good fit for what I like to participate in. So it's all worked out that way.
Again, visiting with Bill Wilford of Wilford Construction. Talk about, that area over there is a little hilly. Mm-hmm. So what's it like when you have to develop something on ground like that?
Well, we had to do all the engineering to allow for meeting the city codes as far as the entrance into the property. And so we went on the north side of the property, and we can only meet a 10% grade of the road getting in. So it's not so steep getting up, not so steep getting out. So we had to knock down quite a bit of dirt to be able to meet that criteria and then be able to tie into 9th Avenue North, the existing portion of it on the other end. So there was quite a bit of dirt being moved around, and we had some trees that we had to take out, which we were fortunate that we were able to do that prior to the derecho hitting, because most of them would have come down during the derecho. So that timing worked out pretty good.
Why do you think people should be a part of RiverStone Crossing? What are some of the advantages to the area up there, Bill?
Well, I kind of feel like it's a little oasis up there. When you're up in the subdivision, you really can't tell that you're in town. We've got the cemetery on one side with some buffer grass in there so that there's nothing on that side, and we're elevated enough above Springdale Drive that you can't tell if you're up by anybody over there. And then on the north side is property that's never going to be developed either. So we've kind of got a little niche up there where it really doesn't feel like you're even in a city, but you're close to everything. So it really is a nice spot, I think, to be able to build and live.
Let's bring Mary in real quick. If somebody wants to be a part of RiverStone Crossing, do they purchase a lot and Bill comes in and builds them a home, or how does that all work, Mary?
They certainly can purchase a lot and have Bill do a custom home. We're also set up to do what we're calling villas, and they're standalone ranch-style homes. We have a model home up there now at 861 9th Avenue North. It's 2 bedrooms, great room, nice big pantry, laundry room, and then that particular one, it also has a Four Seasons room and a deck, and then a full finished basement with a bedroom, a bathroom, a big family room with fireplace on each level, and also a big storeroom. And those villas have certain allowances, and you can pick your own flooring, you can pick your own cupboards, you can pick many things to the way you want. We've got 3 homes up there now. All 3 are different, and they have different finishes. And the 2 occupants of the 2 homes are very happy up there, and they're looking forward to having more neighbors. And so Cindy Brackmeyer and I are available for consultation, and we'll bring Bill in to talk to them. And Bill is wonderful to work with. And before he even started building up here, he would set it up so we could take people down to Eldridge to see some of his neighbors' homes that he had built. And his slogan, I think, is very important. You can tell him about you wouldn't build unless.
I would strongly recommend early on not to build the church that I attend to, and which we did, and also not to live at the end of the street of a subdivision that I built all the houses, which I do. So I live where I built properties.
We got a couple more minutes. I appreciate you coming up from Eldridge to visit with us today. You brought up a good point. All the homes up there are a little different. So when you meet with a family or a couple who want to build, what are some of the questions you get? What are some of the suggestions you give?
Well, I typically try to find out what they're interested in doing. Some families would prefer to have a 2-story. Ranches have been very popular for quite a while now, maybe 1.5 stories, but we try to find out what they are interested in and how many bedrooms they're looking for and the amenities they're looking for, and we can either start from scratch or modify existing plans that I already have to meet their needs. And that's the same even with the villas that we're building. We're modifying those to meet people's needs.
All right, very good. Mary, if people want to find out more information, what's the best way of doing that?
Just call me, email me, text me, 563-357-0744. We're on Facebook. We're at RiverStoneCrossing.com, and we have open houses up at the Model, usually about every other week. So people are welcome to come and check it out, and we're available for them whenever they would like to talk about it.
Okay, again, that phone number one more time.
563-357-0744 is my personal cell.
All right, just ask for Mary. There you go.
That's
Bill,
right.
great to meet you. Thanks so much for coming in.
Nice to meet you. Thank you.
It's a bird! It's a plane! The Dan Patrick Show.
Dan Patrick.
Yeah!